What's going on, Buff Nation? Welcome back to another video here on the Voice of College Football Network. My name is Miles. I cover the Buffs here at VOCFB. You can follow me on X at Miles High Buffs. And I'm joined again by my co-host Tommy, aka at First Round Potential. Tommy, we're ramping up the episodes here, right in the middle of football season, fall camp. How you been since I talked to you 24 hours ago?
Great, brother. No huge news for me other than Buff's second day, like you said. And yeah, man, it looks like it was an exciting day, I would say.
Yes, we got some things to talk about and all good things, I would say. But I want to say, before we jump into that, I want to say I've noticed you've ramped up your Buffs gear. You've been wearing a lot more Buffs. I don't know if you got a shipment in or something, or you're pulling it out of the closet, but you've been ramping it up. I appreciate it.
I'm really just pulling it out the closet, bro. I've been buying Buff gear for a while now, so I got some stuff in the arsenal for sure.
That's fair. Unfortunately, sometimes I get off of work and I just kind of have whatever I got on. But, as we get more into the fall and you can wear more layers, I'll ramp it up. But I just want to acknowledge that because I appreciate it. But yeah, man, day 2. So we luckily, this always happens in this show, is that like we talk about something and then somebody drops a video right after it, or some news happens, like literally right as we got done recording yesterday, even though the video didn't come out till this morning. And this is Tuesday. So we're talking, these videos are coming out a day behind, but Bucky dropped his video, which gives you like, it is always very interesting to see the two different angles, right? You see Darius's perspective and you see Bucky's perspective. And there's a lot of things, you see some of the same clips, but you also see new things. You see new conversations. They talk to different people. And so that was really interesting to see. Was there anything that kind of jumped out to you from his video that we didn't talk about yesterday before we talk about some of the stuff from today's practice?
Jumped out of Bucky's video?
Yeah, from last night.
No, the only thing that really jumped out to me, and it's kind of sort of fell into today as well, is just the mindset of Coach Prime, bro. Like, he's really been like so damn locked in, and like he's not taking no. He had a quote today, and I'm sorry we speaking about yesterday's video, but he said he took enough L's last year, and that's all I needed to hear. Yeah, and like he's so locked in, man, and he holding literally everybody accountable. So that's about it. Anything other than that, just normal, gameplay. Good to see. Same tape that we saw on Darius' video. I don't really see anything different as far as like big plays being made or anything like that. That Coach Prime mindset is just really like hitting home with me today. So
for sure. Yeah, and I think to an extent I appreciate Bucky's angle sometimes a little bit better. Sometimes I see him on the field as opposed to, I think, Darius is more on the sideline sometimes. So you can see a little bit more of the all 22 almost from his angle, which gives you a little bit more insight. It's like I cut up a couple of clips of it. Like you could see the offensive and defensive lines a little bit better. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think kind of going back to that point, right? Like I feel like at times at the end of last season, there was moments where he was like, when he brought in Ray Lewis to talk to the team, he was kind of just trying to like push a different button and just like figure out where he could get the team motivated. This year, he is like, no, we're doing this now. We're doing this on day 1. Everybody's locked in. I don't care if we got 30 days, like we're doing this day 1. We want this intensity. We want you to understand what we're doing and why. And so, yeah, no, I agree. I think that we'll get into his quote first, but before we do, I want to talk about something. We didn't talk about it last night, and I think that was a little bit intentional because we didn't really have the full story, but it was announced a little bit kind of midway through the day. There was some speculation about Coach Phillips no longer coaching the wide receiver room. So that had kind of been, speculated or talked about after the Sunday video when they brought everybody in to talk about the receiver or about the coaches. But there wasn't an official answer. I saw Jack Carlo had put out that per CU, he had left the staff to attend to a personal matter. And to an extent, we didn't really want to talk about it because, that's his personal business. It's not necessarily anything that we need to like speculate on or talk about or get into all that much. If he leaves for a personal matter, that's entirely his discretion. But the interesting note was last night, Coach Prime actually quote tweeted Jack Carlo and clarified that Coach Sheffield retired. which was an interesting clarification. I don't know if it has anything to do with a personal matter, but he did go on to, sing his praises, talk about his time together in his playing career, and just how much he's appreciated having Coach Jay Phil on the staff. Obviously, Coach Shad steps in, but before we get into that, I want to know your thoughts on just Jay Phil moving on and the opportunity for Coach Shad to step into.
Yeah, man. Rather, like you said, it's nobody's business, right? And when you when they get into like the retirement part of it, you don't really know like when you really want to retire, man. Like he was probably like, let me see if I could do it, for another year. Let me stick out the spring. Let me just see, and he probably just made that decision. Was like, you know what? It's time to hang it up. I mean, the dude was honestly, you could tell how close him and Coach Prime was. Like it was no secret to that. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, he got flack over one little quote, but that don't diminish him being a hell of a coach. You know what I mean? So, I think he did a great job for the Buffs the time he's been here. I mean, got 4 or 5 guys in the NFL, not to mention the other guys that he's coached before, he got to the Buffs. So, I mean, it's all good. The best part about it is he had what you would so-called like a prodigy kind of sitting there and monitoring him and learning from him the whole time, And so to be able to have somebody just step into that role where you don't really have to you're not taking a step back because this guy has been through the mud with you from literally for, let's say, 5-6 years now. It's no way in hell he's not ready to be put in that position. So I think, shout out to Coach Fields. I think he did a great job, man. Outside of the, the blocking thing. I mean, just me knowing as a receiver, like that's always being preached, bro. Like it's how you play without the ball is how you're gonna get the ball, right? So
yeah.
And if you consider yourself a brother to your teammate, it's only right that you put maximum effort into catching the ball just as much as you do as blocking. You know what I mean? So I think that was just a quote he just threw out, and I guess it just, went the wrong way. But hell of a coaching career, hell of a playing career for him, and definitely appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, and I remember when that happened, and I didn't even want to talk about it on the show because it's one of those like Buff things that happens that everybody it was like similar to the Juju stuff where it was just like people are trying to just find something. It came off wrong. We don't even need to get into it. That's one of those such minute things that overshadows an incredible career. And people weirdly think about him in that capacity. But in reality, you should think about him as the guy who hoped to get 5 Buff, I guess almost 6, no 5, right? So Jimmy,
5,
LeJounte, Xavier, Trav, Will, 5. So 5, yeah. 5 receivers into the NFL. And I did see a quote, I can't remember who put it out, but somebody had said that he had been planning to retire last season, but ultimately with Coach Prime's health issues, opted to stay on for another year. And so I can see that, it's like he had a core group of guys that helped get to the NFL, and potentially that he was ready to just, depart after that, but chose to stay on, chose to try to keep some level of continuity with the staff, which is honorable. It's admirable to stick through even in a situation where you feel like you're ready to hang it up. And so shout out to Jay Phil. I mean, I'm super appreciative of what he was able to do on this staff. And I think we should all remember his time as our receivers coaches very fondly, and what he was able to do. And even you'll get a guy like Omarion Miller, he's not on the team currently, but incredible development for somebody who's made his way up to a first round pick. So won't get the credit that he deserves, but definitely does deserve it. But another part on that I wanted to note is just Rashad Davis, right? I think a personality that meshes very well with Brennan Marion. He is very upbeat. He's very energetic, connects really well with the guys. One of the things from the video, you probably saw it today with Darius's video, is he did that whole kind of focus point on Cam Perry, and he went to Rashad Davis and he talked specifically with him about what Cam Perry brings to an offense, what his traits are, and he talked a lot about the things that we've talked about, right? Electricity, versatility, shiftiness, all the things that are going to make him an asset for this offense. But I think overall, I think just the youth and the excitement, the promotion, the opportunity for Coach Shad is going to enable him to be a really good receivers coach. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you could kind of tell too, man, just like throughout the years and stuff like that. I like as a player, you always look for those guys that's what am I trying to say? You always look for those guys that you could relate to. You know what I'm saying? Like I could talk to Coach Shad like I was talking to my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to, like, when the coach come around, he come around. I don't gotta like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Change the conversation. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys. So I think that was just a hell of a, it's crazy, but it was a hell of a hire if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? No need to go outside, right? No need to get somebody in there quick to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And the best part about that is, what I think is so underrated about that is, you don't have to worry about, like, Coach Marion still don't have to worry, because he has, like, he's coaching the quarterbacks, but he can really oversee this offense, right? He got a guy, a quarterback guru that they brought on staff from the Canadian Football League that will take care of all of the quarterback needs, right? Why he can just sit back and be an OC. He got shot, right? He coached receivers. He played receiver. He can go down there, dibble in whenever he wants to, you know, but trust the guy. As you've seen, he's been super vocal about Coach Shad in all of his interviews. When they ask him who's a coach that stand out to you, first guy he say, Shad, right?
Yeah.
So he already got trust in him. He already knows he's a guy that's going to be prepared and going to coach the hell out of these guys. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about. And when you got that type of feel from your OC, from your head coach, got that confidence from those guys, it's no need for you to even, you know, worry about the guys taking a step back or not being able to do their job or not being prepared. So I think it was a hell of a hire. I think it was great for the guys in the room, right? It's like they brother is the top guy now. So they just got to, you know what I'm saying? It makes it so much easier now, you know what I'm saying? Because he can get through to those guys easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And it's such a great point. I think the other part of it that I just want to emphasize is this follows a continuous path of promotions based off of guys who just deserve more opportunity, right? So you think back to, like, I don't want to say it starts with a Gunnar White, but like somebody that may not have the resume, quote unquote, prior to the role that they're in now, but has done enough to earn it. And so you get these different position coaches, Gunnar White, George Hilo, obviously had worked with extensive football experience in the past, but, you know, his first time being a DN coordinator. You've got some of these other guys, Johnny Mack, you know, Rashad Davis now, and even down to a Dante Carter, right? Like, just a lot of guys who have just shown loyalty to Coach Prime and have proven themselves in the building and are now getting that opportunity, and by all means, you know, are going to make the most of it. So I agree. And I'm super excited about it. I think it's a really, it's a great hire and a guy that will do well on the recruiting trail as well. So let's switch over to some of the clips from today. I think the big thing that we want to talk about is one of the things that we kind of ended yesterday's episode on, which was the notion that, like, your first practice is always a ramping up. And that's why I put it in the title for today's video. It's like, your first practice is getting your sea legs under you, you know, getting your body right. And then that second practice, the third practice, it gets better and better. And that's what we saw today. The thing that jumped out to me was both coaches, both offensive and defensive coordinators, made a note to specifically acknowledge the increased intensity. Chris Marv specifically noted, talking about the growth from practice 1 to 2, saying that he doesn't even have to watch the film. He saw it. And then Brandon Marion also talking about how he appreciated the intensity. And so I think that's everything you want to see. Obviously, we're still really early, but to be able to have, like, it goes back to what we talked about a little bit, and I don't want to ramble on this, but like, it's almost like the rhetorical question of it all, which is like, it takes a lot for coaches to acknowledge growth this early in a fall camp and this early in a cycle, because you don't want guys to get stagnant. But it has to be really good for them to come out and be like, hey, I got to give you guys props. Like, we called you to do more and you did more. Is that what you saw too?
Yep, absolutely. That's exactly what I saw. And like you said, just to piggyback off of that, when you got coaches coming out, and like you said, granted, it is day 2, but you got these guys coming out and saying, look, these guys came out and they played their ass off today, right? They practiced their ass off. They went 100%. We didn't have he said we didn't have no lows, which means all of these guys are holding each other accountable. You know what I mean? Like, because it takes a lot to have 0 lows. It takes a lot to just, maybe if you did have 1 or 2, like, it takes a lot for that, man. You know what I mean? Like, these guys this is high intense, high level football. You get what I'm saying? So, like, it's going to take so much, and it's going to take those leaders. And that's exactly what I got from that video or from those quotes is that leadership on that team is, like, really standing out. You know what I mean? So for Coach Marion to say these guys are bringing energy, I don't got to coach these guys. They coaching themselves. They saying stuff that a coach would normally tell these guys. They don't even have to say it because these guys are coaching each other up. And that's exactly what the hell you want to hear from your coaches on day 2. You know what I mean? Because you can build off of that, right? We came out here day 1. We probably was flat, but everybody knew that was going to happen. Came out here day 2. We watched the film. We knew exactly what the hell we needed to get done. Everybody ramped it back up. Now everybody locked the hell in. Let's go. No days wasted. You know what I mean? Sure. And so I love the fact that I heard that from the coaches today. And like I said again, the way Coach Prime is speaking is being heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell that it's like glued, and everybody right there on the back of it, it's like a green dot on them helmets. It's glued to everybody else. Everybody understand what the hell the motto is, what gotta happen. And I think they all taking all of that into full effect, and they taking advantage of it. They making sure it happens too. So I love that, man. I love what I seen today and heard.
For sure. Message stated and message received. And I think that started with right at the beginning of the videos today with him talking about just it's not necessarily like your why, but he talked a lot about his personal experience, talking about, how he didn't have another option. He talked about 2-way goals, having both a plan A and a plan B. Later towards the end of practice, he acknowledged that I might have been earlier, but he was talking about how the team GPA, I think it was earlier, talked about how the team GPA was over a 3.0. Which, hey, I didn't play football. I struggled to be over a 3.0. So good on them. But no, his quote, which stood out to me, was our plan B is now our plan A. Because I think he had mentioned at some point, it was either in the first video or yesterday's video, he talked about how, to be real with everybody, 95% of you are not going to make the league. If that might be even on the low end. But, making sure that to most football players, most athletes, there's always this is my plan A, all I got, right? Like, I'm only doing this. But Coach Prime emphasizes all the time that plan B is something that everybody always needs to be accounting for. And so when he acknowledges the success that they're having in the classroom, that our plan B is now our plan A. He's just giving the credit to the guys for the work that they put in to improve some of that off the field stuff, which I just thought was a really great start to the day.
Yeah, I could agree with that. And that's what he's saying. Like, pretty much what he's saying by that is, like, you guys, like, it's so much to having a why, right? Like, sometimes you forget about that, right? But in our reality, that setback would be like, okay, look, if this don't happen, what else do I got, right? And what he's saying is, like, it ain't no other option, right?
Yeah.
Everybody here not gonna make it to the league. So in a way, you competing with your teammates, right? But in the same sense, in order to get to that goal, we got to do this together. So all he doing is like lighting a fire under these guys. Like, look, we already know what the hell going on. Ain't no plan B. This is what's going on now. The most important thing in this year is to win football games.
Yeah.
And if you win football games, you one step closer to your dreams. Right? So that's all he's just like stamping in their minds is just like win, 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 because nothing else matters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I think that's a hell of a message to lay out and put across. And I feel like it's being translated through every coach. One great year, right? One great season by Brendan Marion, right? The way Coach Morrison playing elite, playing violent, and everything that you do. Football is a violent sport, right? So playing violent. When you play violent in a sport of football, you're gonna get noticed, right? That's what this game is about, being violent, right? So it all comes down to one common goal, and that one common goal is we got to win football games, and the only way to do that is everybody got to be some type of delusional in order to be great. And to do that is put it in their minds, brother, we don't got no other options. Yeah. We win football games this year, we all got a chance to make it. If we don't, we all going back to what the hell we need to do in real life. You know what I mean? So yeah. Going back to what Miles and Tommy do.
Yeah. Let's get on the podcast mics.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's all great points. And I think he also had the quote, you don't quit on others. You don't quit on your mom. You don't quit on your best friend, that type of stuff. Why do you quit on you? And he talked a little bit about the notion of like some guys feel like they can, quote unquote, get away with stuff throughout the season. And then when it's like, oh, then, I'll do my combine and, my 40 time is going to be really good and that'll make up for everything. It's like, no, you got to start today. Everything's got to be perfect throughout the entire year. And then you wrap it, you put a bow on it at the end. You don't just hope that your combine is going to get you over the top. So I thought that was great. And he talked a little bit about consistency too. He touched on, dress, like how they prepare the little things, the mental stuff, making sure they're all, in the correct uniforms, right accessories, that type of stuff. But just like preaching, just consistency day over day. You got to do the right things every single day. And we got to be doing this now so that we're not trying to catch up to do it later.
Yep. That's the only way you can win, man. It's the little thing. It's crazy, but it really does matter. The little things absolutely matter, right? And that's just like when you put those little things into perspective. It's me telling you, for instance, right? Like, hey, Miles, like, you got your mic hooked up? Like, you got your headphones, you ready to go? Like, you know what I'm saying? We need to wear this today. It's game day. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got this on. Like, you just constantly like building each other, and we like, hey man, we need you. Come on, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Nah, don't come out here with that visor upside down or whatever, or tinted, right? Like, come on, man. Make sure everything is on point. That way we ain't got nothing to worry about other than playing football. You know what I'm saying? And focus on our alignment and assignment at that moment. That's all we need to focus on. Not the dumb stuff, not the outside stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that's a hell of a message. And when you're consistent, I mean, there's only one thing you can do, and that's play great, play loose, and win football games. So I love that. I love that message, man.
For sure. So let's talk about playing football. Let's talk about what we saw on the field. I jotted down a couple of names, and we're starting to see a couple of names that are coming up more and more often. Okay. The first name I feel like we just need to address when we need to talk about is Cam Perry, because Cam Perry has been ready to go. He brings the energy. Right. I saw at the very end of practice, he was yelling out, we want more. We're not done. Goes back to that intensity that they brought today. The physicality was Bucky, I think, called the episode, fight on day 2 or whatever it was. We'll talk about that a little bit, what kind of caused that there. But I just want to talk about Cam Perry because he he's so dynamic. And I hate that word because it doesn't really mean anything outside of just like in a vacuum talking about how he's able to do a lot of different things. But as Coach Shad acknowledged, right, he's just an electric football player. He's somebody that his shiftiness is second to none on this team. Somebody I posted a clip of him of his. He has that like really low zig route that he loves to do, the like kind of cutback where he like stamps his foot, you know, real deep.
Yeah.
And somebody compared him to Hunter Renfrow, which I thought was really interesting. I'd never heard that before. But no, I just want to get your thoughts on Cam Perry and just how he's shown out in these first 2 days.
Yeah, I got the utmost confidence in Cam Perry, man. Like we've said consistently on this show, is Cam Perry route running is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like the kid can run every route in the book. And now what we're seeing is his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? His confidence. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm not saying that we don't need anybody or anything like that, but with Danny being out, I'm not nervous at all.
Yeah.
Because we have guys that's done it at a high level, right? They know their goals. They got one plan, like we just talked about, and that's plan A, right? And a lot of these guys play like it. I mean, you could tell the way that Cam Perry came out in the spring and the way he came out now in fall camp, nothing has changed. You know what I mean? He was talking when he was in spring ball. He's talking now in fall camp. You know what I mean? He's trying to get reps against Boo every single play. He's doing the same thing now. You get what I'm saying? So it's like he's destined for greatness, and you can kind of tell and see that just by his mindset and what he has as far as like talents and mentality on that field. So I love what I'm seeing from Cam Perry, man. He's stepping up to the plate. I'm not saying that he never was, but he's stepping up and he's ready. You could tell he's ready to go, bro. He's ready. For sure.
100%. And I think this might seem like a very minute detail, but you cut out there for a second. We lose you. Yeah. Oh, you're good. You're there. This is really minute detail, but it's something that really stood out to me. Is I can't remember at the end. I think it was the end of Darius's video. He was asking him about what book are you reading, and he was talking about I can't remember what the book is, but he was talking about how when he started at Indiana, he was reading books a lot, and then he stopped, and now he's picking it back up. And I don't know about you. I don't know if you're much of a reader, but I tend to find that like when life gets chaotic for me, when I feel like I don't have much of a control on things, something like reading a book is a hard thing to try to prioritize. And going back to your confidence element, hearing him say like, hey, I'm getting back into reading, right? It makes me think that like he feels very confident in where he is, right? Like he feels like he knows what he's supposed to be doing. He feels like he understands what his responsibilities are. He's in the right place. And he knows that his position on this team is one of a leader. And so he's trying to kind of work through some of the other elements of his life. He's trying to improve the areas outside of football. And I know it's a very minute thing and very small, but when I see guys that are like, hey, I'm trying to improve X, or I'm, going to yoga to improve my flexibility. I'm like, okay, you've got the football. It feels like you're confident in the football stuff and you're trying to improve the other elements, which just kind of stood out to me.
Yeah, that stuff make a difference, bro. I mean, and just a quick story. I mean, he was at Indiana. I mean, he ain't had no other choice but to read.
Yes, fair, very fair.
But anyways, that's for another day. But no, man, like like you said, man, that stuff calms you down, man. Like it takes off everything because it relaxes. You're not really thinking about nothing. You're thinking about these words that's in this book. You know what I mean? So and what these authors are actually telling, what story they're telling. But I think that was really different for me. You know what I mean? Like to hear him say that. It's just like I said, mentality. You're on a whole nother level when it comes to that. Like he knows when to shut it off. He knows when to turn it on. You know what I'm saying? He knows what gets him going. That right there just shows me like preparation, right?
Yeah.
Like if you can lock in enough mentally to sit there and read a book, because it's not easy. A lot of
Yeah.
people can't sit there and just read a book. You know what I
I
mean?
can't. I read like one of these.
Yeah.
They're more for
Looks
show.
good. Yeah, man. But like it's tough, man. And like, but just to show that mentality, and show that other side of them, like to really understand and sit back and say, yeah, man, this kid is really locked in. Like he
Mhm.
understands the task at hand. He came there, and you could hear it in his voice when he was talking on Darius' video today. I came here for one reason and one reason only. I'm on the
Yeah.
biggest stage. I never thought I'd be in Colorado. Look where the hell I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm here now. I ain't know where the hell Colorado was at.
That was the
Here
best
now.
part to me.
You know
He
what I
was like, I
mean?
don't even know where
Like,
Colorado is at. I was like, yeah.
exactly. Like, but you know what I'm saying? But that like it's things like that kind of shows you like it kind of tell you a story about a kid, but it also like opens your mind to like, wow, like for you to be a million miles away from home and to just not even think about that, but just be in awe about where you are, like where you are in life at that moment, getting ready to do something that you absolutely love and wouldn't give up for anything in life. Like I'm
Mhm.
getting ready, he's getting ready to go to like play, like
Yeah.
go in practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's talking about just things like outside of um that got outside of football, right?
Yeah.
And that there is just like I said, mentality, the mentality of all of these guys on this team, man. You could just they really pick the right people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And
100%.
that's pretty much what my main thing that I take from just that video today with that background on Cam Perry. I love to see it, man. I'm a
Mhm.
huge fan of him. Now that I know about him, huge fan of him, and
Mhm.
being able to see him up close in person. Of course, you watch, from afar, but just to be able to hear from him up close in person from these guys' videos is dope.
Yeah. And let's talk about a couple other guys that we heard from today. Maybe I don't know if the podium is after. I think it's after practice, but we saw Cree Thomas, we saw Gideon Lamprin up there talking. Gideon made a note to ensure that he shouted out both Leona and Tyler, talking about how they're both pros, which is something we've talked about
Yeah.
extensively. Coach Prime shouted it out as well, being 3 NFL linebackers. Cree talked about how much excitement he has, how super pleased he is with the effort and the growth day over day, how much everyone's challenging each other. And I just it goes back to what you're saying, which is like every time I hear these kids speak, I'm just more and more excited for the season because I feel like you said, they're really good kids. They're really good kids with good personalities. They're leaders. They are just really, really strong, smart kids. And I love how much they're coming together, how joyous they are, joyful. I don't know what the right word there is, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And so just hearing them, and I love to going back to it, like Gideon's been known for this. He's been a captain, he's been a leader, but like to see Cree up there, man, just embracing this increased responsibility. He's taking on the football side of it, like exactly like you would hope, but he's also taking on the vocal presence. Like some guys, not everybody is designed to stand up there and be a guy who not only like wants to talk in front of the media, but is willing to also like, there's a difference between how you go up there and you say like, you make it about you versus you make it about the team. And he went up there and the first thing he talked about was just how much he's impressed by his teammates and how much everybody's working together and all this stuff. So I love that. I loved, like you said, it's really becoming more and more evident that they brought in the right types of personalities and they're talented as all hell too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Those guys, when they got up there today, just the fact that they're at the podium, but they talking about their teammates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they understand, like it's not a me type of deal. And once again, I'll just go back to exactly what we just talked about. It's about they bringing in the right guys, right? They brought in the right guys, and we could say that a million times. They brought in captains from other teams. Now, mind you, Cree wasn't the captain, but he came from a prestige university that only take guys with high character. You know what I mean? So that I do know. So I know. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, not to interrupt you, but I feel like on that note, this is something I've wanted to address, but like I feel like there's an overlooked part of that, right? Which is like you're a high level recruit, you go to a school like Notre Dame, you don't really get the playing time that you deserve. By all accounts, plenty of guys out there have always come to their next school and been like, I'm the guy, I need to like, prove myself. This is about me, it's
Yeah.
my time to show my shine. But like he comes in and is like all about the team and he just wants to get better. And like he doesn't use that opportunity to make it about himself, which not to cut you off, I just wanted to acknowledge.
Good. No, that was a hell of a take. No, absolutely, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like with guys with high character, man, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for them to get out of character. You know what I mean? And so it's just it just goes to kudos to the staff, man, for finding a guy like that. You know what I mean? So Kree is a guy, he's young, he's kind of damn near like Juju at this moment, bro. Like he got so much pressure because of the amount of recognition he's getting and that he's gotten since he stepped foot on campus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he's taking it by storm and he's carrying himself like a man of honor. Like you can't say anything bad about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he understands that he's one of the leaders on his team. It's been put in front of him to be that, and he's taking full advantage of it. And I love the way these guys are talking. I love the way Gideon talked about, Tyler and Leona as well. And man, when I tell you, I just pray these guys just continue to stay healthy, man, and we could just watch all of them on the field at the same time, brother.
I think that's drywall, but whatever. Point made. I don't know if my desk is wood, but we'll get some wood here.
No, seriously, man. But yeah, man, I'm loving it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. And let's talk about some performers, right? Let's talk about some clips. Obviously, you see what you can see. I saw some good plays out of the running back room today. Jaquel Smith, I heard for the first time, which was pretty cool. I haven't seen his name floated as much, but a good freshman season at Sac State. So interested to see what he can do. Damian Henderson continues to impress me. I love how he plays. I love how he runs. And I do think that his size plus just his long strides is a really intriguing style of back to have in this offense. I tweeted it out as well, like Trackhawk, if we can get a fully healthy Trackhawk, man, like his shiftiness, his home run ability, he's also like, there was one play where he ran through, I want to say it was Jason Stokes and like, was like, like he was like all about it. So like, he's a little guy, but like he's ready. He wants to prove himself. So, and then Michael Welch had some good runs too. Obviously we'll get into that whole fight that happened involving him, I guess. But I was impressed by the running back room overall. It felt like we have a lot of different backs. We saw some screens, we saw some zone runs, we saw some outside runs, and it felt like each back had an opportunity to make a play today, and they did, from what I could tell.
Yeah, I think these guys took advantage of their opportunities, man. Like you said, we keep seeing Damian Henderson and we keep seeing Trackhawk. Looks like those are two guys at this moment. And I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Haven't seen my guy yet. I said big year for 9, but I'm sure it's coming soon.
That's a good point. I haven't either.
Yeah, so could be hurt. We don't know. But anyways, I think those guys are, like you said, taking full advantage of their opportunities. Good to see Mike out there doing what he do. I kind of call him Mr. Consistent, man, because like he's just gonna run hard every time. You know what I mean? Like, and that's one thing you can't knock on him, man. The kid gonna work his ass off, and he's gonna run hard. He's gonna do his job. So, love to see Mike out there getting in a little scuffle there. And then we got Jaquel. We finally been able to see him get some reps and that's good to see, you know what I mean? So young guys, you can see their potential. He's comfortable in that offense, just like Damian Henderson. So I expect big things from Jaquel as well, just because he's been in it. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just getting used to the speed. You know what I mean? Because now you got guys that's coming across that ball that's NFL guys. So getting that speed, being able to Learn how to pick up blocks when those guys like ESPN coming full speed at you. Being able to take on those guys, that's the only thing you kind of got to get used to. And I think the more reps you get, the better you get at, finding a way to handle those big guys. So looking forward to seeing this room continue to get better. They are deep, I tell you that. They got some talent. So not really worried about that running back room, man. That's one thing I can say. I'm not worried about those guys.
Yeah, I've always from day one loved how Micah has come in and just kind of put his head down. He's not much of a flashy guy. He just kind of does the work. And I hope that it kind of all comes together for him this season, because we've seen year over year improvement from him. And I think it's another really good point, which is that like, this isn't always about the guy that can make the big run or hit the right hole. Sometimes it's like, we're going to have two backs out there. We might even have three at some point, like we're going to need blockers, and we're going to need guys that are big, that are physical, that aren't afraid to put a body into somebody. And so that matters just as much to some extent as the guys who can take it 40 yards to the crib. So I'm with you. I'm getting more and more confident in the running back room. The more we see them, the question for me just becomes like, can we create the hole to be able for them to run through? We don't want to be pushing outside every single time or relying on screens. Like, we want to be able to run it up the gut and make something happen, which is going to be essential. But a couple other names. There's some names that stood out to me, which have stood out to me a little bit more as we've gone on. The first one I want to talk about, and I'm a believer in this kid. You can go back. I've talked about it before you were even on the show, is Caleb Mathis. Caleb Mathis is going to make a difference this year. And it stinks to me how much, like, he's just been in really good wide receiver rooms, but like year over year has been a coach's guy. He's been a coach's kid. He's been a leader. He doesn't complain. He shows up. He's a really good presence. Every single time that you see him on the clips, he's smiling, he's lifting guys up, and he's making plays now. Like, he had multiple great catches. He had the one that went straight up the seam for the touchdown later towards the end of practice. I'm not going to talk about his celebration, but I can't, like, he's one of those guys that, like, I feel like from what he's doing and what he's showing, you can't really keep him off the field. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, man. The guy, like, he just kind of like Micah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he always been consistent. You always can count on him to do his job, and he's gonna make plays, man. It's just like you said, it's just loaded receiver rooms. You can't. It's hard, man. And it's so many guys like that, like the Caleb Mathises of the world that go through college football. They just in unfortunate situations, right? Like we said before, the guy could go to another Power Four and be a contributor right away because he's that good. You know what I'm saying? So continue. Like you said, I think he will make a difference this year, and I think he does. He has been in the previous years, just maybe not on the field, but like in the locker room, right? But he will be on that field this year. He will get opportunities, man. And I really feel that he deserved those opportunities. So, give it to him. You know what I mean? So love to see him making plays as he normally do. But what I took from that is just the whole team loving on him, man. That's what I love to see, man. That dude got in the end zone. Literally the whole
team was there,
linemen, everybody ran to the end zone to show him some love, and that's what it's all about, bro. As we said again, these guys are together, man. And I think Cree said this in the press conference. It's night and day from the day they first walked in there in spring ball, as far as like everybody not knowing each other, to where they are today. They feel like they've been together for years. So love to see it, man. And I love to see Caleb Mathis still making plays, man.
Yeah, and the reason I say I feel like he will make a difference is because, and Coach Prime emphasized it today. He's talked about it his entire time at Colorado, but he said, what I see in practice is what I will see in the game. And so if you're not practicing hard, if you're not doing the right things at practice, you're not going to play. I mean, there's been countless examples of guys who have gotten opportunities because of what they've done in practice. And so I just feel like this is the year that Caleb Mathis puts it together and gets an opportunity, a couple more opportunities on the field. So A couple of the names to breeze through, and then we'll get up on out of here. Zach Atkins had some really good plays today. Good to see him getting back into the pass catching game. We've seen a couple other tight ends kind of get thrown around, but we haven't seen as much Zach. But today was a big Zach day. And that's a really intriguing sign for this offense as a whole, for Juju and for Zach in terms of his pro potential. Do you see that as well?
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. I think he definitely showed out today. They got some clips of him. Let me say that.
Yes.
No telling what he's doing completely in practice, but they got some clips of him today, showing his potential to catch the ball and get upfield. And same thing, man. The team celebrating it. I like to see that. You know what I'm saying? Zach caught that thing and hit him with the, you know what I mean? Like, and the guys yelling in the back. So good to hear that. And good to see, just him making plays. That guy potential is through the roof as a tight end, man. So definitely good to see him. And it was good to see those other guys getting reps too, because they probably need more reps than Zach, right? Just to get them guys ready to play. So they do a lot of rotations in this go-go offense. So being able to have everybody ready is really a good thing. So happy to see what I'm seeing from those guys in that room in general.
Yeah. The other part I want to touch on, and it's always going to end up becoming a debate or a controversy, is just I think the quarterbacks look good. Like I'm obviously the biggest Juju guy in the world, but I won't shy away from the fact that like Isaac Wilson is running this offense really well. He had a couple of really solid RPO actions or just options that he made the right read on. And I was like, okay, yeah. He's also just he's much more mobile than I would have anticipated. And he showed that in the spring, and he's continuing it into fall camp. And then Keneal Sweetwine, man, like kid is a baller. Like I'm growing more and more on Keneal Sweetwine. Like he is not afraid of the moment. And I really did not expect him to have the arm talent that he has this early in his career, but like he's stepping in and he's like, I'm ready to go. And it's evident. So this is not me. And I want to make it very clear to the audience. This is not me saying there is a QB competition or that these guys are going to overstep Juju. I just want to acknowledge that we've got enough in this room, knocking on wood again, God forbid that anything ever happens, that I feel okay with where we are with the guys behind Juju. Are we in agreement on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. It's good. Like, and I remember, which I'm pretty sure if you loyal and you watch every single video and you hear everything, like interviews and stuff like that, outside of the networks that we got connected to see you, is you hear like they're not gonna show you everything, right? The clips that they show you, you don't see a lot of Juju. Why? Because it's typically the first team offense. They run in certain things that we don't want on camera, right? So it's good to see. It shows that we're capable. If something, God forbid, was to happen, we have a guy that can step in and run this offense as well, right? So seeing Isaac out there and playing his ass off and being prepared and probably coaching the hell out of Juju, knowing he's the guy. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's a veteran. So just being able to have him in a room and always be there just to continue to push Juju, right? Is a good thing, bro. Like competition in football is everything. So if you asking me, we don't got no damn starter. We know Juju's a starter, but we don't got no starter. We don't want no starter, right? Because we want him to be pushed to the highest limits in fall camp. He needs to hit every adversity he can hit in fall camp. So that way, when that season come around, he's ready to go, right? So I'm excited, and I love the fact that Keneal Sweetwine also is showing us some potential there as well, because you never know, man. This game of football, you never know when your number is called and when you got to be ready. But to be ready when your opportunity shows itself, whether that's Texas Tech, Weber State, whatever the case may be, he's going to get out there on that field this year. We're going to see Keneal Sweetwine play football for the Buffs this year, no matter how many snaps it is, right? So we're going to see him out there. And so just him being prepared for that moment and preparing as if he's a starter, that, again, shows that we have the right guys on this team, getting these guys ready, holding everybody accountable, everybody playing their role to the best of their abilities. And the only way we can be successful is if everybody is doing exactly that. And so, love to see what we saw today from the quarterbacks. Love what we saw from the tight end room as well. So I like to see that, man.
I'll be 100% honest with you when I say I would love nothing more than to watch an entire second half of Keneal Sweetwine up 35 points against Weber State in that first home game at Folsom. I love Juju. I do. And I would really love to watch Juju for 4 quarters. But if we're watching Juju for 4 quarters against Weber State, I'm a little concerned. So I would love to see some Keneal Sweetwine in that game when we're up 35-0. That would be perfect. Because I want to see that kid get some action because he's got some talent. It's like a for CFB 27, he's got that impact dev trait, something like that. But I'm gonna wrap it here because I know we're coming up on an hour and we've been trying to keep these episodes shorter. But I'm excited, man. I can't hold it back. And we're 30 days, from day one, from getting into the stadium. Well, actually, we won't be there, but from watching these boys play football. And I just saw Laura Levy put out a tweet saying, I love when my CU tickets get delivered because it means we're 30 days away, which I got that last night and I didn't realize that that's what that meant. But yeah, man, it's here. So let's wrap there. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on X. At First Round Potential, at Miles High Buffs. Let us know your thoughts. How are you feeling about the Buffs? If you're a fan, not a fan. If you watch the videos, not watch the videos, what'd you think about what we saw today? And we'll be back tomorrow with another video. And then Thursday or maybe Friday, by the time it comes out, we got a special guest who's going to be coming on the show. We're not going to tell you who, but we'll have that coming out in the next couple of days. So anything else before we drop?
Let's go Buffs, baby. Day 2.
Go Buffs, baby. Day 2. All right, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, later, bro.
Bye.